Hi everybody, this is Mark with KM Home Buyers. I'm here with another video to try to help you first-time wholesalers here in the Tampa Bay area. I've been in business for almost 5 years, and I just want to give some tips to people that are having a rough time or just have some questions. Today's video, we're going to jump right into it. Today's video are the questions that you want to ask the motivated seller when they call you, whether they call you from your bandit signs or cold calling or whatever your marketing strategies are. These are the questions that I quickly ask people, and I think I can try to move to them pretty quickly and get a appointment, because that's my ultimate goal, is getting an appointment. So the first question, they're going to call you, you're going to answer the phone, however your company is or however you want to say it. I want to get their name first thing, because I want to make a personal relationship with them. Sometimes I'll make a joke about their name if it's rare, or if it's like my daughter's or my son's name. But I want to get a name quickly, and I want to be able to use that name throughout the process of the phone call, because it starts to bring you guys on a more friendly type basis. So the name would be number one. I quickly want to get the address that we're talking about, the motivated address that they're trying to sell. I want to get that address, and at the same time I'm on the phone, I'm either on my computer, talking about jumping into the computer and getting the address and getting some data why we are on the phone if I'm in my office here. Number three, the question would be is, why are they calling me? Why are they wanting to sell their house? This question would be a very open-ended question, and you want the seller to talk and talk and talk, and it's hard for me to shut up, but that's when I do shut up, and I let the motivated seller give us as many reasons, as many information as possible to find how motivated they are. That's one of the biggest things that we're trying to determine on this phone call, is their motivation factor. So I'm going through their name, I'm going through their address, and why are you calling me? What is the reason? What is the solution that we can help you with today, whether it's a foreclosure or a probate, or a lot of times I have people out of the state, and they're up there and they inherited a house. I've sold a house when the people never even came to Florida. So those are the ones. The fourth thing I want to do is, are they on the deed? Okay, it's a very, very important question, and it reflects that. Do they have the right to sell the property? Are they the heir or the executor of that estate, and do they have the right to sell? That's number four. A lot of times they're on the deed. Let's say it's a guy on the deed or a girl on the deed, and they're married, but they're going through a divorce. She's not on the deed, but she on some of the loans or some of the paperwork, it'll be later that they're married. So even if she's not on the deed and they're currently married, she needs to sign the paperwork. And sometimes when you get into a sticky divorce, sometimes one of the parties will try to sell without the other one. So are they on the deed? Are they married? Are they currently divorced? Those are some good questions to ask in that category. So it was name, address, reason for calling, how long have you lived there? I like to know that because, and I'm searching that as well on the computer, when it was last sold. But I want to know that too, one, because I can try to find out how much equity is in the property. Is it recently purchased by them? And there's not much equity, but you never know. You never know a scenario, because they could have paid for cash. But one thing I do know, if they have a lot of equity, what are they trading their equity for? That's a very important question. Are they trading their equity for speed because they want to get out of the house, for conveniency, or for they don't want to just deal with all the repair costs? But there's something that there's some type of motivation for them to trade their equity fast, and you need to find that out. So we have name, address, reasons that they're calling me, how long have they lived there for, and are they on the deed? The next I want to work into quite quickly, and this whole phone call on me, I want to do it in under 10 minutes. The next thing I want to do is, what's the condition of the property currently? I focus on a few things. The roof, I don't ask them if the roof is leaking or if the roof is old or good. I ask them, how old is the roof? Give me the age of the roof. You can't dispute the age. If it's 25 years old but it's in good condition and I purchase it, I gotta put a new AC in. I can't sell a house with immaculate condition with no 25-year-old AC. So AC, roof, kitchen, master bathroom, and the floors. Those I want to do. If it's a really old house, I do want to dabble into the plumbing and electrical to see if it's been upgraded. But most of the times, those are my questions. The kitchen, does it have granite? Does it have stainless steel appliances? The master bathroom, does it have granite in there as well? How are the floors? And is there AC? How new is it? Okay, so the AC, the roof, the floors, the master bathroom, and the kitchen. Those are the main ones I want to talk about, and that's just quite quickly to them. The other question I ask them is, under perfect conditions, and we give them an offer that they are very happy with, and that's the thing that you really have to portray to them is, we want to make you happy, we want it to work for you guys, you lived there for a long time, we're not here to steal your property by any means, but we want to make a connection with you to get it done easy and quickly, so both parties can benefit from it. Okay, and that comes unfortunately with a little bit of equity, else we would not do it because we have all the risk. But the next condition would be is, under a perfect condition and the price is right, when do they want to sell? You know, when would you like to do it? If they say yesterday, my motivated factor is 10, okay? I want that number to be high. I don't want them to say, well, I'll sell it in 3 or 4 months, I really don't care, I'm just getting a quote, blah, blah, blah. I put them at the back of the lower follow-ups for me if I don't set an appointment. But on those questions, I'm digging and I'm letting them talk and I'm trying to figure out the thing. Well, we bought a house and we're double paying payments. Well, now I know there's some motivation. You know, I got a job transfer and I got to be there at a certain time and I'm willing to take some loss a little bit. You know, I've lived here for 34 years and, you know, it's paid off. Those are things you have to focus in on. I'm focusing in on their motivation, their flexibility. That's huge. Are they going to let me get my buyers in, my end buyers? Are they going to is there nobody there and it's vacant to let me put a lockbox on it? Do I have access at ease with it? There's some buyers that I've had that are so super nice and they're like, no, Mark, just put a lockbox on it, get your general contractors over there. And it's quite easy, okay? It's an easy, fluid transition. I'm sorry, I just don't want to back a blank screen behind me. It's so annoying. Other than that, I'm looking on the flexibility of them allowing me to access that property. That's huge. Their motivation on selling, their flexibility of that. How much equity do I believe they have in it? And you can look up what their loan has been pulled for, and you can look up to see what they bought it for. But unless you get a payoff, you don't know exactly. And then I'm looking on how I can't even read my notes. Then I'm looking on how distressed the property is at the time. You know, I've had plenty of people, and I did one yesterday, I'm working on a case now where the person does not have a distressed house, but they want to sell fast. It doesn't make sense. It's not possible unless you're in a highly desired area and there's no houses on the market. But it's very difficult to get retail price when you're in retail, when you're in no distress. So the lady wants to sell fast and she wants the highest price on the market, which is not going to happen. So, and that's distressed property. So motivation, flexibility, equity, and distress. And then my goal is to let them know, listen, and I set this baseline up on the phone in that 10-minute phone call, and I set a personal relationship with them somehow. Somewhere during that 10-minute phone call, I try to branch off or find something about them that relates to me, whether they're in the service, like my dad was, or they've been in Florida their whole life, or they're Florida State football fans, or I want to try to branch off into a personal connection with them outside of this business phone call for probably a minute and focus on a relationship that I feel that I give them that maybe somebody else doesn't. I feel that's a huge sell in sales, and I've never taken a sales course in my life, to be honest with you. I think the only thing I've done in life is sell the candy bars in high school, but I think I'm a pretty good seller and a pretty good closer. But I feel that personal relationship with you and the motivated seller is crucial for them to leave an impression that they don't forget you. So whether you say a joke or say something that can relate to them, and they don't talk about the phone call. I just want to make sure it's working. Okay. Yeah, it's still right. That they don't, that they can relate to that phone call with me and not another guy. Because there's sometimes that we go to appointments and there's 4 or 5 people there, all wholesalers. So the final thing is I tell them, listen, you're exactly the type of purchase that we like to purchase, the house, the property. If we can get an appointment in your house and it's not an appointment to come check it out, we're just going to take a few pictures and check the structure out. It's not about how dirty it is or boxes all over, because a lot of times they're moving. It's a 5 to 7 minute appointment. When we leave there, I will have an offer for you within 24 hours. Because most of them just want to know that number. And so if I tell them that they'll have an offer within 24 hours of my appointment, then they'll seem to want to set that appointment quite quickly. And I set it immediately. And a lot of times I set it the same day. My assistant Hiram does most of my appointments. I barely go to any. I want to say in the year 2020, I've probably gone to 4 appointments, maybe, out of a lot. He does the appointments for me. He's very good at it. He's getting good at it. He's really there just to take some pictures, build some rapport, and I've already set the groundworks and the relationship with the seller's name and their property. And once he leaves there, I set up a lot of pre-texts, and that's another thing. So those are the questions that you need to ask a motivated seller. Their name, the address, their reason for calling, how long have they lived there, are they on the deed, you want to ask them about their roof, the big fixes in the property, the roof, the AC, the kitchen, the master bathroom, and the floors. Under perfect conditions, when would you like to sell? I want to set up the appointment, and they can have an offer within 24 hours. When would you like to set the appointment? Just remember, when you're trying to set an appointment, I do not allow my seller to say no, okay? And it's a softball pitch. It probably comes from my other job, but I tell them when is the best time for you. I don't give them an answer, would you like to set an appointment? If you say that, they're going to say no, okay? Or they'll say, we'll call you back when we're ready. My question is to them is, what's the best day for you, for us to come there? When they say the day, I think Monday looks good. Okay, what's the best time? I'm not giving them an answer to say, I'll call you back. Okay, we're not trying to, see, there it goes again. I have it on there so kids don't get it. But asking certain questions and the analogy of the question is huge in this business, and I'm learning, and I'm sure that's, if I took sales classes, I'm sure that this is what they focus on, but I am not giving that seller an opportunity to say, we'll call you back, the way we pitch the question. So the question would be, what day works for you? What's the best day and the best time that works for you? We will come around your schedule. A lot of times you'll say, well, I'm home right now, can you come over? That's happened so many times, and we come immediately. Okay, the first person there gets the deal, in my opinion. Other than that, those are the questions that you need to quickly ask somebody. Set the appointment. Okay. In between all these questions, and once this is over, just an added tidbit for you guys that I think is crucial. One, I send them a text message. Thank you for calling us. Please review our Google reviews. We have the #1 Google reviews in the area. It's very important to know that the companies that you're dealing with in the area, and I send them a link to my reviews. So by the time they have got the phone call, they called us, we set a very nice rapport, we set the appointment. I'm already sending them a text message confirming the appointment, the date and the time, and said, by the time we get there, we think it would be important for you to review about our company. We have all these beautiful things to say about our company from our other sellers. So they can read that and have a very good position about us as we show up at their property. Obviously, we want to show up in certain conditions and look nice and neat and organized. We leave them a folder and go through that. So these are the 8 questions that we like to ask everyone, and we like to set the appointment fast. And these are the things that we're trying to figure out very quickly on the phone. It's basically the same questions for almost anything that we're dealing with to set the appointment. So If you have any questions, you can easily call me. I've had someone call me from my videos. He called me and said he watches my videos, and he was from up north, and I sat on the phone for probably 2 hours. You can call me at 813-388-1199 anytime, and we can talk about whatever questions you have. If not, just put some questions below that you want me to work on in the next couple videos, and I'll try to help you out as soon as I can. Alright, this is Mark from KM Home Buyers. Thank you for watching.